voice acting software. There are very many choices of software out there for recording and editing voice jobs. Now, if you're a musician or singer already using something like Cubase and you want to get into voice work, there's no need to learn a new package. If you're used to using music recording and editing software, then there's no need to change really, and it may have everything you need. Starting from scratch though, if you're a Mac owner, you may find the free GarageBand software suitable for your needs. Windows owners, well, Windows owners have the voice recorder, and that's all it does. It's very limited functions for us voiceovers.
So, what functions do we voiceovers need in our software? Well, we need to record, of course, then afterwards to play back and to hack out mistakes and sometimes breaths, in other words, to edit. You may wish to insert sections of silence in order to leave a gap before sections or in between sentences to space them out. Or if you're happy with the duration, but you want to mute a bit of noisy nonsense, maybe like you coughing or breathing too loud, the software will need to mute the sound in the area you select without inserting anything to increase the time.
Then software also needs to enhance the quality of our voices by adding compression. It sort of pushes the waves down to make it sound much butcher and richer, more authoritative sometimes. Then maybe you'd want to add EQ or equalization for certain jobs. Let's say you have to sound like a radio announcer from the mid-20th century broadcasting on AM. The equalizer would take the bass off, so it'd sound tinny and pretty lo-fi like this. So EQ is a useful feature, particularly if you're asked to do some production elements yourself.
Also, if a particular recording has problems, like some background hiss or hum, your software needs to be able to tackle these issues as well. You'll also sometimes need software to subtly speed up or slow down recordings to fit into exact timings. Then, the software needs to be able to export your master recording in a variety of different file formats and qualities, depending on the needs of the client who's paying you.
For example, if you're recording audiobook files for Audible, and I know a lot of people love doing audiobook stuff. We've got a voice acting course that majors on audiobooks on VoiceOver Masterclass. Great fun, especially doing the character voices. But technically they need MP3 files, 192 kilobyte data rate per second, 44.1 sampling, and levels that peak no more than -3 decibels. But don't worry if this sounds confusing. You'll learn all this stuff. It's really quite easy.
There are some really good programs that have all these features. Audacity is free to download, although we recommend you donate to the developers. NCH WavePad we also recommend and is free for non-commercial use, but is pretty inexpensive to buy. The Rolls-Royce of audio software, though, is Adobe Audition, which you have to subscribe to each month via the Creative Cloud system. It has a load of great high-end features that you'll need when you get more established as a voiceover. It's so important. We even have a whole training course where you'll learn all the details of how to use Adobe Audition.
So how do you get your sound into your software program of choice? Well, let's wire up your studio. As we mentioned in the last video, to connect a large capsule condenser microphone to a computer, you can't just plug it in. There's nowhere to put it. You need a USB interface box that provides the microphone with power. So you plug with an XLR cord into your USB interface box and then USB cable into the computer. And then the microphone gets power, it all works.
We recommend two for us voiceovers. There's the Steinberg UR22C, and there's also from Focusrite the Scarlett Solo, which has one channel input. If you are doing podcasts and maybe you have a co-host or doing interviews in a studio, maybe you'd like to look at the two-channel version. Basically, these USB boxes connect your analog microphone to your digital computer. But you do have to get the levels right though.
The Audacity software program has an input level slider, and other programs have equivalent settings. But we suggest that it's best to leave any input level at 100% and adjust the input volume of the physical control of your USB interface box. This is much more convenient as you need to adjust this often, according to the type of script that you have to record.
So, for example, if you have a very soft, breathy recording, I turn this control, say, to 2 o'clock for my voice, And for shouty acting work, like shouts for a game, battle scenes, over the top men, then basically it's turned down to 11 o'clock. So you need to experiment to find the right setting for your voice and for different volumes of voiceover read. Now on the Scarlett Solo, you ideally need to get the dial LED light to flash green with a few flashes of amber, just amber. If it lights up red, well, it means possible distortion on your recording, so you need to turn that dial down.
What you're doing by turning this input control up and down is optimizing what's called signal-to-noise ratio. If you kept the input always low level to avoid distortion, then on quiet recordings, you'd have to amplify both your voice and the pesky low-level hiss or noise and any mains hum. Note that for very loud recordings, say you're shouting military orders for a video game, the recording may still distort, even with the Scarlett input level low and the software input level low. This is because the voltage peaks are still too much for the poor preamps and you'd be overloading them. Here you need a -10 dB pad or attenuator, and you'd buy one with a male XLR at one end and a female XLR at the other, so it would be plugged in between the microphone and the input to the Scarlett Solo USB box. You'd only need this for really loud, shouty projects though.
Great, you're all set up to record. Click the link if you want to download the PDF, but how are you going to get your first jobs in? See you in the next video. Hey, thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below or watch the video once more, just in case there's something you've missed. Now over to my left, you can continue watching. Just click the video you'd like to watch next. And please click the thumbs up icon to let me know if you've enjoyed this video and found it informative. And if you've not done so already, remember to subscribe and click that bell icon so you don't miss any of my new videos.